For more on the trade disputes between the U.S. and other nations, we're joined now by Ralph Winnie from the Eurasia Center. He's the director of their China program, and he's also a partner at IPO Pang. Welcome to our broadcast.
Glad to be here.
What is your reaction now to Russia changing its tune regarding the sanctions?
Well, I think it's very interesting coming on the heels of the St. Petersburg Economic Conference, where 550 agreements were signed by the Russian Bureau of Trade, focusing on areas such as healthcare, medicine, digital economy, energy resources, and industry in Russia's Far Eastern regions. So what Putin has been trying to do is bring business back into Russia and show that they're a land of economic opportunities.
He's also been criticizing President Trump and the U.S. sanctions.
Yes.
Been very tough on him.
Yes, very much so. And I think what he's trying to do is to encourage other countries to move away from the dollar as a form of global currency, and is working with the countries of China, Brazil, India, Iran to really promote the Chinese yuan, the Indian rupee, and the Russian ruble as an alternative, for currency in the international trade. They're trying to move away from the dollar and promote the euro as well as these other currencies that I just mentioned to create increased international trade and put Russia in the spotlight as the center of doing international business.
The Chinese telecom company ZTE somehow got caught up in this tit-for-tat over the tariffs. The U.S. Congress very upset with President Trump. They believe it's a security issue. President Trump reached a deal with ZTE on Friday, reducing the sanctions there.
Yes, I think if you look at Trump, his idea is to negotiate a deal. That's what he ran on as president, as a deal maker, a businessman. And he's crafted a deal where ZTE would pay $1.3 billion. He's demanded, and they've agreed to, U.S. compliance officers being involved with ZTE so that everyone would have knowledge of what ZTE's activities are in the United States. And he's also tried to procure security guarantees to ensure that the issues raised by members of Congress about potential spying and intellectual theft of technology would be abated by having U.S. compliance officers inside the company.
Yeah, and the U.S. Congress right now has this bipartisan amendment, but apparently it's not strong enough for a veto-proof majority.
But remember, ZTE is coming in the larger context of the U.S.-China trade and tariff issues.
The U.S. needs ZTE.
Right, and ZTE wants to have access to the U.S. market. Now, there are companies here in the U.S. that don't want ZTE to take away their market share, just like there are companies in China that don't want U.S. companies to enter China and take away their market share.
But isn't it interesting that President Trump actually wants new tariffs on cars, and the Commerce Department launched a trade inquiry based on national security for this?
Yeah, he's going to take it sector by sector, industry by industry, and what you have to look at is the areas of the country that voted for him, and look at what industries they're having issues with, that they're suffering, and to see what kind of trade and economic benefits can be brought between creating an effective U.S.-China agreement.
All righty. Well, Ralph Winnie, we certainly appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.